The U.S. The High Court rejected the Trump administration's attempt to end the DACA program. It protects about 650,000 undocumented immigrants brought to the U.S. as children from deportation. Jan Crawford is at the Supreme Court. Jan, good morning.
Well, it has been a rough week for the president here at this newly conservative Supreme Court. Two major losses yesterday on one of the key issues, immigration, that he built his whole campaign around. The 5-4 decision was written by the conservative Chief Justice John Roberts, joined by the court's 4 liberal justices, and it said the Trump administration's decision to rescind the Obama-era program was, quote, arbitrary and capricious, and that it failed to consider the hardship to DACA residents. For the dissenters, Justice Clarence Thomas, he called the ruling an effort to avoid a politically controversial but legally correct decision. It comes on the heels of Monday's landmark decision in that transgender and gay rights case, and yesterday on Twitter, President Trump lashed out. He called the decisions horrible and politically charged, and he quickly pivoted to November, saying, "We need more justices. Vote Trump 2020. Now, the ruling sends the case back to the Department of Homeland Security to try again to justify why it should end this program. That is unlikely to happen before November, which puts the issue of immigration, the makeup of the Supreme Court, squarely in the November election. Tony?
Yeah, it sure does. Jan Crawford for us. Jan, thank you very much. And there will be more legal battles to stay in the United States. CBS News contributor Maria Elena Salinas spoke to some of them to get their reaction, and she joins us now. Maria Elena, good morning. So they went from celebration to more concern. What did you learn?
Good morning, Tony. Well, while dreamers across the country are breathing a sigh of relief, knowing that their safety, their jobs, and their access to school is secured for now, what we heard, the refrain that we heard over and over again, is that this fight isn't over.
From the steps of the Supreme Court to Texas and California, undocumented dreamers celebrated Thursday knowing the DACA program would continue.
What was it like when you heard the decision this morning?
It definitely felt surreal. It's definitely been feeling like a huge weight off my shoulders.
Ana Guevara was brought to the U.S. when she was 9. Neri Lopez was 4. And for these recent college graduates, DACA is a lifeline.
I dream about going to grad school, but it's very hard when you're living in a state of limbo. So that's what it means, like that there is like somewhat of a future.
Neri, what is your life like living in limbo?
When I graduate college, like I know that there's an uncertainty every month of whether there'll be a position, and living that uncertainty has definitely been a huge overwhelming feeling every day for me, knowing that it's not just me, but also for my family.
That fear of life without DACA was shared by Ricardo Aca, who came to the U.S. as a teenager.
I was living in the shadows. I was trying to get by. I was lying because I guess at the time you don't know what your status could potentially affect your entire family.
Aca marched against the Trump administration's decision to end the program. And he hopes the court's ruling is a message to those who are struggling.
Before I had come out of the shadows, I didn't really have a community. I did not know other folks with DACA. I think for those folks that, might not have been eligible, I hope they know that we're fighting, because I think everyone deserves respect and dignity, and I think that's essentially the goal.
Guevara and Lopez feel relieved. But like Aca, they know the fight isn't over.
My family and I belong here. My community definitely belongs here. And that we are here, and like we are going to continue our fight for a permanent solution.
These dreamers told us that the original dreamers are their parents who came to this country in search of a better life. So they will continue to push for a permanent solution on Capitol Hill. Also, yesterday's Supreme Court decision could open the door to thousands of young undocumented immigrants who had originally not qualified for the program or had been excluded from the program during the Trump administration. Gail.
Maria Elena, thank you. It must be